Southern Maine looks to get plenty wet this afternoon, but Keith, perhaps not as much as we worried about yesterday.
Yeah, I would say based on the radar that's true, Pat, that there's some heavy rain coming, but it should not be 3 inches or so as the model showed us yesterday, which is okay. A lot of us had a really nice start to the day. I was a little surprised to see the sun over southern Maine earlier today. No complaints though. It's all clouded up there. There's still some sun over northern Maine into parts of down east, although the camera behind Pat showed not a ton of sun in Bar Harbor specifically. All right, here's that slug of rain. And again, looking just at the radar trends, there is a flash flood warning in effect down across Massachusetts, so I don't want to downplay this too much. There's still some torrential rain on the way, but it looks to me like this band that's rotating through right now is not quite as beefy as it was on the modeling. So that should carry forward into our forecast over the next couple of hours. It's also a little bit faster than modeled as far as what it's moving through. Both good things when you talk about flash flooding. So there's the rain right now. Now this model kind of breaks it up. I don't see why that would be the case. I think it's going to stay pretty intact as it moves through this afternoon, eventually into the mid-coast. And if you're in down east Maine, it's not until this evening that you see any real rain coming in. And it could be some heavy downpours in there, maybe a rumble of thunder embedded in all of this. And it's gone by tomorrow morning. We end up with a mixture of sun and clouds tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures actually in the mid and even upper 80s and still sticky. Tomorrow afternoon actually looks quite promising. And then Saturday looks pretty decent as well. Mixture of sun and clouds, isolated sprinkle possible in the afternoon on Saturday, but I don't think there are a ton of them around. Best chance is into the mountains and into western Maine. And then Sunday is a mixture of sun and clouds as well. That's the weekend. Now let's talk about early next week. HENRI out there right now, tropical storm kind of circled around Bermuda. National Hurricane Center's cone gets more uncertain over time, right? So it gets pretty wide here and it's pretty big when you get into early next week, because this storm is expected to kind of hook towards New England and then perhaps out into the Gulf of Maine. Now, this obviously looks pretty scary. It's worth noting, though, that when you look at the different model solutions, they all do generally point it towards New England, but most of them hit down towards Cape Cod and then kind of hook away. That type of solution for Maine wouldn't give us too many problems. Southern Maine would probably get some rain. The only solution I'd be concerned about is if this hook happens up here, closer to Portland or into the mid-coast. Right now, that's not currently the plan, so we'll keep an eye on that. Just pencil in Monday into Monday afternoon that we could have some wind and some rain, especially, of course, mariners take note. If your boat's on a mooring, it's a lot different than how other people perceive wind. So we'll keep an eye on HENRI. The weekend leading up to it should be relatively quiet. That's the good news. And what happens with HENRI will influence, of course, our Tuesday and Wednesday. So those days are not exactly set in stone. Again, Pat, I wouldn't freak out about this. I think everything would have to line up just right or just wrong for this to be a major, major deal for us. But we'll continue to keep an eye on it.
All right. Thank you, Keith.